Welcome to the channel Physics Made Easy. We are discussing the topic system of particles and rotational motion. In continuation with the topic, today we will discuss rotation about fixed axis and angular momentum of a rigid body we will find. Then what is conservation of angular momentum if the axis is fixed for a rigid body, if the body is symmetric or not, then what is angular momentum, and finally the examples based on conservation of angular momentum. Do you know, in the helicopters there are two propellers. Why? If the earth suddenly contracts to half of its radius, what will be the effect on duration of day? Or the whole ice on the pole caps melt, then what will be the duration of the day? It will increase or decrease, or it will remain unaffected. We have seen a diver, when jumping from a springboard, he exhibits somersaults in air before touching the water surface. How it happens? Also in the planetary motion, whenever the sun and earth, planetary motion, earth revolves around the sun, we see that it is taught that whenever the earth is nearer to the sun, its angular speed is more, increases, and when it is away from the sun, its angular speed decreases. Why? To know these answers, stay connected till the end of video. Let's start. Angular momentum in case of rotation about a fixed axis. We know, we have read angular momentum of to angular momentum in case of rotation about a fixed axis, if we consider there is a particle P, it is a typical particle situated at the rigid body. What we have seen, that all the particles along with the rigid body rotate with the same angular velocity omega about the fixed axis. Here we have taken the fixed axis z axis, and the particle rotate in the circle having its center at the fixed axis. Here it is C. Its position vector from origin, this r, is written as OC plus CP. It can be written or not, we have seen earlier. So this position vector r can be written like this. If we consider the one particle its angular momentum, then we can find by having all particles angular momentum and their vector sum, so that we can have the angular momentum in case of whole rigid body which is rotating about the fixed axis. So for this typical particle we are considering, we can write its position vector r equal to OC plus OP. And what about its angular momentum? You know, angular momentum is this r cross p in the vector form, it is written. Here this r is OC plus OP, these all are vectors. So what can you write here? And P is linear momentum. You write here this OC plus OP cross P, or you can write here this OC cross MV plus this OC plus CP, not OP, this is CP. Okay, so this CP cross MV. Look here, this is OC plus CP equal to OP. This r is position vector. What can we write for CP? As r perpendicular. Look here, perpendicular to the axis is this CP. So we can mention CP with the r perpendicular. In this case, if we find what is angular momentum, then this angular momentum will be this OC cross MV, these all are vectors, and plus Cp cross mv. What can you write for Cp? If its linear velocity is tangential at point P for the particle, then you find that r perpendicular, radius and tangent are perpendicular. Here this Cp is r perpendicular, then this r perpendicular into mv, or direction of v is that of mv, so it will be mv. Sin 90, here tangent and radius will be perpendicular, so it will be 1. Now if you write here this mv sin theta, then sin theta will be 1, and we have seen v equal to r perpendicular omega, for this case Cp into v. Then we can write in place of v, what can you write here? This OC cross mv, simple, and here plus you can write this mv r perpendicular square into omega. So this is the angular momentum in case of magnitude. If you write here this, you can write L as OC cross mv. These are the, suppose you are writing the vector, then you can write here as vector. Look here, this OC cross mv, this is the rotational axis, and what is mv? That is tangent. These two are perpendicular, and how the angular momentum, its direction is decided by the right hand thumb rule, curling of the finger from r towards v. This is OC and this is v. So OC towards v, look my thumb, perpendicular to the z axis, rotational axis. We can write this angular momentum direction is perpendicular to the rotational axis, so this L can be written as L perpendicular plus, what about this? Look, R perpendicular cross V. If this is R and this is V, you know, if this is the radius vector, then R towards V. Look here, this from R towards V, curling of the finger, this is V, then R, this is R and this is V, R towards V. Then thumb is along the Z axis. This is L parallel. For the particle, we have seen this L parallel, that is the momentum along the axis which is rotational axis Z. This L parallel is written as LZ also, because along the Z axis, rotational axis it is. We see that net angular momentum for this typical particle on the rotating rigid body is the vector sum of these two angular momentums, one perpendicular to the axis, other parallel to the rotational axis. So this net angular momentum is not parallel to rotational axis. Is it or not? Then for the objects having all the particles rotating like this, what can you say? That this OC cross MV or this L perpendicular, what will be its value? If we find the net angular momentum, the net angular momentum will be summation of all the angular momentums, this L, small l for one particle. And you can write here this L perpendicular plus L parallel. What about L parallel? We can write as LZ, and what is here L parallel? Look here, this M R perpendicular omega square. This V is R perpendicular omega, so M R perpendicular omega, not V. In place of V, we have written this into omega. This R perpendicular distance, and what is this MR perpendicular? We have read moment of inertia. Then this moment of inertia of the body is written as this I omega, and it is along Z axis, so K. So in the vector form, this Lz can be written like this. We have seen the clear-cut difference for angular momentum about the body rotating about the fixed axis, that this net angular momentum and direction of omega, which we have considered for all the particles, is about the rotational axis. They are not parallel. In case of linear motion, when the whole body is moving in one direction, all the particles and their momentum, their velocity and their momentum, they are in this same direction, parallel to each other. But here the angular momentum, in case of rotational motion, angular momentum and omega, they are not same, they are different. They may be different here. And here we have seen how the net angular momentum is the vector sum of these two momentums. For the body, generally we take symmetrical bodies. Symmetrical bodies means that axis about which they are rotating, the body is said to be symmetric. The symmetrical axis about which the body is rotating. We can find that for such symmetrical objects, every part in one direction of the symmetrical axis has the same number of masses and their situation and the other direction. That is, all the particles which form the circle, then at the each diameter, the presence of one particle in one side is same as the other particle situated on the other side. What I mean to say, that here at point P, if this is the radius vector and this is the tangential velocity inward, then this radius vector and this inward velocity will give the angular momentum along the axis. Then here also you will find this velocity, the particle rotating will come here, then this velocity vector will be outward, and this radius vector, again this one is radius vector, then this r cross v will give angular momentum again parallel to x-axis. So Lz will remain constant for the symmetrical objects. What about this component, this OC cross MV for other particles? Look, for the particles, for the axis OC, for the this OC part of the position vector, OC will remain same. OC and this V, we have seen r cross V, in this direction angular momentum, and for the particle which is on this side, OC and V, what will you get here? This, look, OC and V. Look here, curling of the finger from R towards V. Here the V is outward, then R towards V. Then these two components, this L perpendicular in this direction and in this direction, will be cancelled. What happens for symmetrical objects? For the symmetrical axis, you can say L equal to Lz only. That is, L perpendicular is 0. I have shown just this and this for one particle. Then for all the particles, angular momentum about OC will be 0. What about the objects which are not symmetric? Then for objects which are not symmetric, L is not equal to Lz. So for the objects, most of the objects we study in rotational topic, they are symmetric about the rotational axis. Then we write for them this L as Lz, net angular momentum, which is I omega in vector form. This is about k. And we see here that angular momentum's direction and omega both are about the axis of rotation, and so we consider this formula for the object symmetric about the fixed axis of rotation, and this is applied also in the conservation of momentum. How? We have seen in the linear momentum that if net external force on an object is 0, then its linear momentum will not change, it will remain conserved. Similarly, here if the object is rotating about the fixed axis, there is no external torque acting on it, then its total angular momentum will also remain conserved. What about this? If you see that there is no external torque acting, like here, if we show that external torque is 0, then law of conservation of momentum says that if external torque is 0 about the body rotating in about the fixed axis, then its angular momentum will remain conserved. That is, angular momentum will remain conserved. How will you prove it? We have seen L equal to just now for the object symmetrical about the rotational axis, this vector in the vector form. You find this dl by dt rate of change of angular momentum. What will be that? First you show this will be d by dt of I omega into k. We can write for the symmetrical objects. If I is constant with time, then what can you write here? This I into this d omega by dt into k. You know what is this d omega by dt? This is alpha, angular acceleration, and we find here that this dl by dt is, what is this I alpha? That is torque. This torque k. Here we can say if conservation of angular momentum says that external torque on the system is 0, then if this will be 0, then what can you write? For conservation, you will write this dl by dt will be 0 and torque will be 0, then it means L will be constant. And what is L? We have seen that is angular momentum about the parallel axis, this rotational axis, z axis. We can write here this I1 omega 1 equal to I2 omega 2. That is, you can write also that initial angular momentum equal to final angular momentum for a rigid body rotating about a fixed axis. If there is no external torque, its angular momentum will remain conserved. Now we have seen conservation of angular momentum, that if there is no external torque on the system, then net momentum, angular momentum remains conserved. Helicopter and rotors form the system. Two rotors, they rotate in opposite direction to cancel the effect of torque produced by one propeller. What will happen if there is only one rotor? Then whenever it will start rotating, then helicopters will itself turn to nullify the effect of rotor for conservation of angular momentum. That's why there are two propellers, two rotors, they rotate in opposite direction to conserve the angular momentum. What about the diver? How it produces the somersaults? Look, whenever the diver jumps, he brings his legs and arms closer to the body. Closer to the body means, I is mr square, moment of inertia. Lesser will be the moment of inertia. R will be less, then moment of inertia will be less. What is conservation of angular momentum? That if there is no external torque, I into omega is constant. Lesser will be I, more will be omega. What is omega? Number of rotations. So diver takes the advantage, and whenever he comes near the water surface, again he stretches his hands and legs so that he enter in water gently. another example I have taken for the earth. If the radius of earth shrinks half of it, what will be the effect on duration of the day? Earth has its moment of inertia for the solid body like earth. The moment of inertia about the axis of earth is 2 by 5 mr square. What happens if r becomes half? Then what will become I dash? This will become 2 by 5 m, this r by 2 whole square. That means if you see that conservation of angular momentum says that I omega equal to I dash omega dash, then if I dash is now, you look here, this I dash will be this I by 4 or not? This is I by 4, and what will become this omega dash? This omega dash, this implies that this I omega is I by 4 omega dash. This implies that omega dash will become this 4 omega. What is duration of the day is t equal to 2 pi upon omega. In changed position, this you will find t dash upon 2 pi upon omega dash. What is omega dash? 4 omega. In place of omega dash, you will write this 4 omega, then t equal to this 2 pi upon omega you put here, then t dash is t by 4. What is t dash? 24 hours. And now this t is 24 hours, then this will be 24 upon 4, that is 6 hours. If it is asked then how much will be the duration of the day, then this 6 hours. Otherwise very simple, that if r decreases then I dash will decrease, and if from this relation you see I dash decreases then omega dash will increase, and if omega dash will increase then t decrease. Learn increase decrease relations, then you will find the answer. So fact is that due to conservation of angular momentum. Similarly, if the ice at the polar caps melts, what will be? Water so formed will come away from the axis. Then moment of inertia will increase. Moment of inertia will increase, then omega, angular momentum, angular velocity will decrease. Why? Because of conservation of angular momentum. So if omega decreases, then what will be? If omega decreases, duration of the day will be increase. So in such questions, relate the logic, what is the principle behind the particular question which is asked. Look in both the questions. Here the duration of the day becomes 1/4, and if the ice melts then duration of the day will increase. So I hope in the examples based on the conservation of momentum, you have seen that if I increases, omega decreases, or vice versa, provided there is no external torque acting on the system. Let's see one very interesting numerical. Let us see another very interesting numerical example of based on conservation of angular momentum. There is a rotating platform. A girl is standing with umbrella on a platform, free to rotate at its center. Suppose this is the platform which is free to rotate at its center. A girl is standing here, okay, and she is having umbrella. So suppose this is. She starts rotating umbrella with 2 radian per second with respect to platform. Look, this platform is rotating about its center. This is the axis, and if the girl having umbrella, she starts rotating umbrella, suppose in this way, with the omega angular speed 2 radian per second. Girl, umbrella, this platform, they make the system, and in the system there is no external torque. It is said find the angular speed of rotation of platform. If there is no external torque, then angular momentum of the system remains conserved. What is angular momentum? I omega. So we first write initial angular momentum will be same as final angular momentum. There will be no change in angular momentum. What happens to conserve the angular momentum? This platform will develop another angular speed opposite to the rotation of this umbrella. Suppose this speed is omega, which we have to find. It is said angular speed of rotation of platform. So this is the speed of platform with respect to ground. Look here, we have this angular momentum initially 0, so finally it should be 0. In which two things angular momentum is here? Since the umbrella is start rotating, then you write here angular momentum, this is I omega. You know the relation for angular momentum. Then for angular momentum of umbrella and angular speed of umbrella, plus what will you write? The angular momentum of platform and girl, you will write here angular momentum of girl. She is standing at the platform. So with respect to platform into this platform. Here one thing you should know, that the angular momentum of this angular speed of umbrella, which is rotating the girl, she is standing at the platform. So what is this speed with respect to platform? And we have to find this angular speed with respect to ground. Then what can you write here? That this angular speed of girl platform, this umbrella is rotating, this umbrella with respect to platform. It can be written as angular speed of umbrella with respect to ground minus angular speed of platform with respect to ground. It can be written. Now angular speed of umbrella with respect to platform, this is 2. You will write here 2. Here this angular speed of umbrella with respect to ground, suppose we write here this UG as usual, minus, let this angular speed of platform with respect to ground, let it is omega. Then how will you write here? If this is in this direction, platform to conserve the angular momentum rotates in opposite direction. So what will you write here? This minus sign opposite to that. So what will you write here? This minus omega. What does it mean? This omega UG will be 2 minus omega. Given moment of inertia of girl plus platform and that of umbrella. Put the value here. If you look, what will be the value? Here this is angular momentum 10 to the power minus 3 into this omega u. What will you write? This 2 minus omega, umbrella with respect to ground, and plus this system, that is 1.5 into 10 to the power minus 3, and what is here? This is minus omega. This will be equal to 0. What will you get here? This 10 to the power minus 3, this will be cancelled. This will be 2 minus omega equal to 1.5 omega. So from this will be 2.5 omega equal to 2. So omega will be this 2 upon 2.5. That is 0.8 radian per second. Main thing here, the conservation of angular momentum was the point, but beside that, you should pay attention that with what respect you have to find the speed. The girl is rotating the umbrella, but she is standing at the platform. So speed of rotation of umbrella with respect to platform you have to consider. But what is asked? Speed of rotation of platform with respect to what? Ground. That's why this step is very important. So we have seen in the conservation of angular momentum, there are many examples related with daily life. You know, whenever the cat jumps from a wall, from tail to legs, she stretches her body to make the moment of inertia large. Larger will be the moment of inertia, lesser will be the omega. Same rule, if L equal to I omega you find, then everywhere you see that I will be more, then omega will be less. So that she comes at the ground gently. Similarly, there is a rotating table. At the diametrically opposite end, there are two girls standing. They are of the same weight. If they start moving towards the center, what will happen? The rate of rotation will increase or decrease. Look, from the axis, they are coming nearer the axis. Then moment of inertia will decrease. Put the formula here. If I decreases, then omega increases. That means the angular speed will increase. There are numerical examples. A boy is standing at the center of the rotating table. He is having some weights in his hands. If he stretches his hands, what will happen? What will happen? These mass will go at the greater distance from the axis of rotation. What will happen for the I? I will increase. If I increases, then omega decreases. If he again does like this, that means he makes the moment of inertia less, omega will be more. He stretches his hands, then omega I will be more, then omega will be less. All the examples, they are based on the conservation of angular momentum. So I hope today you must have enjoyed conservation of angular momentum and its examples. Thank you.